topic today is the art and mystery of raising children. And you're like, I'm learning this from a monk, the guy who doesn't have to raise kids, but in a way, kind of do. So first off, the important thing to remember as a parent, you know, you yourself need to be a good role model. So before even talking about the kids, we gotta look at ourselves. Are we ready? What can I do to be a good role model? Start practicing. Okay. Another thing is understanding that children have a job too. They have something they have to do also. So that's the second that we have to know. And then the lessons that are appropriate to their age. So it's not so much what particular, because actually any lesson can be appropriate, but it's up to how we explain it, which I'll explain later. So let's go with the first one. Being a good role model. This is something we all need to be, at least if we're going to be trying to help teach kids or raise them. So start with, yourself, of course. Start with yourself. Really check and see what is it that I can do. Build good habits. But not only build good habits, start to work on your bad ones. If you have some obvious bad ones you want to work on, do your best to work on them. Try to get rid of that habit if you can, or at least be able to not show your kid. Okay, because as parents, we always want our kids to be better than us, right? That's kind of how we tend to be. But in order to do that, we have to do our best to at least, while they're around, do your best to not have that bad habit, or at least work on it as best you can. Then the next few are practice generosity, practice the five precepts, and practice meditation. These three are ways to help add boon to yourself, add good merit, good energy. It also helps us build a lot of good habits of being generous. Because as a parent, you're going to need to be, because your kid is going to take up a lot of energy, a lot of resources as well. And then keeping the five precepts helps us kind of have our own guide to keep us in the right. And practicing meditation will really help us keep our peace when our kids start to disrupt ours. Okay, so just an example. And of course, studying Dharma. Dharma is wisdom, and a lot of it is very applicable. And once you start to learn more and more, you start to realize, oh, this thing I can use in my daily life. Some things are more theory, because it's about the afterlife or stuff that will not happen right now. Good to know, but maybe not the type that you should learn for your family at this moment. There's a lot of very applicable Dharma. So, be a good parent, not like this. Okay, so don't do that. Okay, right. So jokes aside, so that's the thing about a parent. We have to remember, do our best to be a good role model as best we can. Okay, we're still human. You're going to make mistakes. That's something important. But then the jobs of a child. This one, most people will be like, what do you mean there's a job for the child? What, child labor? Not quite. But these are three jobs that all children must do. All right. The first one we all know. They play. They're just gonna play. That's one of their jobs. You go, what? Next one is to listen. So really, take that time to listen. You go, right? They're not really doing this job well. This is the job you have to tell them that these are three jobs that the children must do. And the last one is to observe. Or when I teach kids, I tell them your jobs are: one, play, have fun; two, listen, so you know the rules. Okay, and then three, know when it's okay to be loud. You see, this will help them learn these different things. So right away, play. What's the point of kids playing? Not other than having fun, just running around all over the place. Well, it helps them grow. It builds strength. It helps them with creativity, because when they're playing, they're creative. They're creating something new. It's also a way to build friendships. This is where they get to socialize, get to meet other kids, start to learn what it's like to be with other people. So playing is actually a very good thing for them to do. So as a parent, we understand they're going to play. Don't be annoyed or frustrated if they're just running around all the time. It would be, I don't know if I think as a parent you might be more scared if they would not run around. But actually understanding this is just part of the process. It's for them to grow. So they can be strong. Next one, listen. Yes, it's for them to learn the rules. But not only that, by listening, they start to learn the rules of, well, the game, manners, the do's and don'ts. These are all the things that they need to know. That way they don't get in trouble. And It's also where we get to learn a lot of understanding and learning new things. Kids need to understand that listening is a great way to learn stuff. It's and learning stuff can be fun because then you don't have to have a lot of mistakes. So it's just an example. Okay. Then observe. Knowing when it is okay to be loud is the way I teach kids, because kids are going to be loud. They're going to yell, scream, but most of the time they're just having fun. But we know that they shouldn't in certain places. So this will give them, they'll practice environmental awareness and practicing situational awareness. So starting to understand their surroundings, what place I can play, what place I can't. Oh, in the playground, yes, go crazy, enjoy, right? At church, at the temple, right? So it's kind of like letting them understand. It gives them that understanding of yes, it's okay here, where it's not okay there. That way, they can start to understand how the world works and understand the situation and environment. So this is just a way that the kids have to learn. These are three things that the three jobs that I always tell kids. Remember, this is your job. You have to do these three things. That's it. All right. As long as you know these three things, you'll be okay. And it's like them just adding information. I love this little meme. It's too silly. Okay, so into the lessons that are appropriate. In this case, it's not so much not so much what the lesson is, as I mentioned before. It's more so about how. So how do we choose the appropriate lessons? Because one, we have to know like their age, how mature are they? How do they have the cognitive ability to understand? And then your own creativity is important. Okay, so when you're teaching kids about uh, anything really, there should always be what is it, why they should or shouldn't do it, and then how can they practice it. What, why, and how. All right. So try to remember this is a great way to teach. It's easy to help them. But here's some examples of how I would teach kids. Uh, I had a youth camp for the kids, and I wanted to help them learn about meditation. So one example of meditation was I wanted them to learn that as you meditate, no expectations. So to help them understand that, I had the kids get into two groups, right? So they're big groups. Oh no, that year we had three. So I had three groups, and the other three groups, I said, okay, everyone, we're going to play a game, but I need one volunteer from each group. But they don't have no idea what the game is yet. Okay, so each group brings in one volunteer, big kid, small kid, whatever. And then I tell them the game. The game is I give them a bunch of this paper. I say, the game is you have to wrap your friend completely with the paper. So suddenly, those who had the big kid, they're like, "Oh, we don't have enough paper," and those with the little kid were able to win. And go, now look, this is showing you that we never know what's going to happen, and allow yourself to just experience. Okay, have fun with it. So this is them just wrapping them up. Like I understand. Oh, okay. So sometimes the game itself doesn't have to be the lesson, but how you get to it and what happens from it can be the lesson. And then another one was teaching them teamwork. This one, very simple. This works for all ages because it's just two steps, left, right, and it can be and communication. So just simply had some wooden planks, tied some rope to it, and had them put their feet in it, and they would try to walk, and it was very funny. Um, you can see the green team on top of the guys. They were pretty quick. They were pretty coordinated, so they were going together, left, right, going together. But in the young girls here, there was one kid who kept on going right when everyone was going left, so they wouldn't move. So this is the thing. It's just practicing that coordination, and then they get to learn. See, this is why we had to communicate. We had to talk. Also, the boys had a bit of a what do you call a bit of advantage because they were all teenagers, while the girls very different in age. Okay, so uh, when it comes to teenagers, here are some lessons that I shared. Now, this is one lesson that I shared about how to meditate also. But in this case, the game was I had some ping pong balls on one table far away, and then everyone got a pair of chopsticks. They just got a pair of chopsticks. I didn't say how to use them. I just said your job is to carry a ping pong ball from that side to this side, from that side back, and with the chopsticks. All you can do is touch the chopsticks. Uh, I never said how you can use it. So some of the kids, a lot of them were, this was in DC area, the DC temple. So some of them were very proficient in using chopsticks. Well done. But some had no idea how to use it. So they got creative. She is holding it two hands. It worked. This is just like meditation. We have our meditation tools, but you use them how it works for you. It doesn't need to be a certain way only. There are many ways to reach our goal. So that was the lesson that I got to share with them, and also nice to remind ourselves as meditation practitioners. So this is just some of the some tips and tricks as a way of showing how to advise our younger generations. So nice little summary again. Remember, be a good role model. Remember the jobs of a child so that they play, listen, observe, and find appropriate lessons for them. Be creative. Okay, so that's just my little summary for you all.